out everyone. In this lesson we will look at the most common errors that occur in Excel during your analysis. In general, we have 6 types of errors here, starting from this one, ending with this one, and this one is a bonus for you. Well, let's start with this error, name error. When do we have this kind of errors? This error is appeared when your operator is typed wrongly, or you have misspelled the function name. For example, you have 2 cells here and you want to sum them. Equal sum, open the scope, this cell plus this cell, close the scope and click enter. If you just, instead of a sum function, you will type the sum with 2m, you will see that you have misspelled the function name, and hence you have this kind of error. Or instead of inside of this function, you will just, if you want to multiply these 2 cells, you see that the 2 to 5 is 20, but if instead of multiply you will just type in something like this x, you will again see this type of error. You should be careful when you are typing the function name or the operator sign in order to escape this error. The second error is null. You might have a semicolon or space instead of a colon if you have this error. Like an example, let's type in something here. We have 2 numbers here, delete one, and let's see that we want to again use the function name first, and after comma we will put in the second and close the scope, click enter. You could see that if you just delete the comma and inside of this one you will just leave the space and click enter, you will see this error. Or if you, instead of a comma, you might have the other list separated like this one. In my case, it just suggests me the corrections. In that case, you might also have that type of error. Just be careful when you are selecting these cells. Either you should choose the range like this one, or instead of the range you could just put in comma or the operator plus or minus, does not matter, or multiply. This list separator should be correct if you want to avoid this type of error. The third type is this one. This error occurs when your lookup value does not exist in the source data. Let's explain it in the above example. Let's say we have already explained the VLOOKUP function. You can see that we have the VLOOKUP function. We want to search these names inside of this table based on this ID. You can see that these IDs are the same from 1 to 6. And first you are just giving the lookup value here, and after that you are assigning the table array here. But then you could just select the column index numbers, second, which column index number you want to print out, and false, the correct. If you just misspelled one of these IDs here, the lookup value, it will print that error. For example, let's just delete this one, 2. You could see you have this type of error because this lookup value does not exist, and it prints you this error because that row does not exist here. I will just explain the basic trick in order to avoid it. We have a IFNA function also here. If you want to avoid it, after that you could just put in that function and click on no value, close the bracket, close the scope, and click enter, drag it down. You can see that it has printed no value. Just be careful when you have VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, or other lookup functions. Be careful that all of your lookup values are filled in order to print out the best result for you. The fourth one is this one, reference value. This error shows when a formula refers to a cell that's not existing. This happens most often when cells that were referenced get deleted, like this one. Let's see that we have this one, and again one more cell reference or value here, and we want to print out this. Just when do we have this type of error? Let's just sum them. Sum this one, comma this one, and this cell reference. Close the scope, click enter. You will see we have a result 16. But if we just delete it, it will automatically sum 2 and 5. Let's just type it again, 7. We know that if we just delete this function will work again. But if we delete this row from here, it will print out this error because the reference cell has gotten disappeared here. That's why be careful when you are deleting the rows. If the row is inside of any function, that function will not work again and will print this type of error. The next one is the value error. This error is being shown when you have the wrong terminology of summing it. For example, you want to sum, if you have the wrong format here, this one is a number and this one is a string, and you want to sum them here. If you sum this one, we know that this format is a number format and this one is the string number. You will see this type of error because we summed the number format with the text format. That's why we just got this type of error. But keep in mind that in some function, when we just select the range, like this one, it will skip the text and sum these values. If we have one more number here and here, we will just drag it a bit right and click enter. It will sum 2 and 4 and skip this text. But if you are just summing it with the help of plus sign or comma, I think that comma should not work. 2 comma text, click scope. Now some function with commas also works, but usually this type of error just appears when you inside of some function. This should not work here when you are assigning when you are assigning operator like plus sign instead inside of the functions, or when you are just using these operators independently without a function name, like this one, this plus this one. This, let's delete it. This, yes, you could see that this error has appeared. And the next one is this one. This is mostly appeared when the result is unmeaningful. Let's see, we have 6 here, 0 here, 0 here, and 6 here. And if we just divide this one, let's divide with some function. This one divided by this one, it will print out this error. If we just divide it in a simple way too, it will print again that error. I think yes. Just when the result is unmeaningful or you are just dividing it by 0, it will print this type of error. And the last one, this is not usually an error. It is being appeared when you have a data that's not fitted in one column. Let's say we want to print out the date. Let's just do it with the help of shortcuts. We'll print Ctrl plus semicolon space, Ctrl plus Shift plus semicolon. First one is for date and the second shortcut is for time. Click enter. You could see that prints out it perfectly, but if we resize it to left, it will print this type of error. Just be sure that your column size is being resized based on your data, and in that case just you will avoid this type of error. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel. Have a good day. Bye.